get really proud of yourself when you like say something that,
it's yeah.
You're like, oh, did I say that right?
It's like when you talk about basketball, but I don't make fun of you about it on a podcast.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't say, hey, are you impressed that you know like what a triple-double is?
I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want, this is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal.
Welcome to Let Her Shoot, the only podcast that covers women's sports the way that we want them covered. I have a more fleshed out pitch for our Let Her Shoot Responsibly gun sponsor. I'll run that by you in a bit. No bullshit, no kid gloves. Because I think we can get, I personally don't own a gun, never shot a gun, never held a gun. But I think in the world of MAGA, in the MAGA world, you can get liberals and lesbians to own guns. So we'll talk about that later. Just respect for the athletes. Nobody's more at risk right now. Anyway, all the respect for the athletes.
I'm going to take up arms.
Seriously, if we're choosing the bear, if that's where we're at, right? Like you can choose in the woods by yourself as a woman. You choose a man to see alone, or you see a bear. And if you're choosing the bear, then you need a mini Remington. Anyway, Sarah Chavnik, two-time Emmy.
I don't even understand that. Okay.
You don't understand that pitch?
No, just go ahead. Just keep going. Just power through it.
Two-time Emmy Award-winning producer, Sarah Chavnik. Trysta Crick, zero-time Emmy Award-winning or nominated talent. Follow us on YouTube. Like us. Subscribe. Go to iHeart. Actually, we're on the Odyssey app, which I just found out last weekend, which apparently we're going to get some free promos on some Odyssey radio stations. So that's coming. Wherever you get your podcasts, follow us also on TikTok and on Instagram at The Daily W Sports. But definitely go to YouTube and start continuing to comment. If you're just new to us, our community, for those who are in the Let Her Shoot community, we're calling that the Kashunity. So I just want to get you to keep up. What are we talking about today?
We got a great show today. Trysta had her first ever NWSL experience, which I'm really excited that you got to go. I'm sorry for the heartbreak that it was for you as a Portland fan.
It wasn't heartbreak. I mean, it was just going to be a lambast, a curb stomp, a slitting of the throat, and you knew that was going to happen when you walked in the door, and that is exactly what it was. And in fact, it was probably more competitive than I expected.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that, but I even said, I hope you see a Shawinga goal, and you got your wish. Or you got my wish, actually, really, because I would have loved to see that in person. It was a wild weekend in soccer. There were crazy kind of buzzer beaters, and there were some wild record-setting moments. And the WNBA race is like officially as tight as it can be, both for MVP and for the title. I think we finally might be seeing an actual challenger to Phee. I want to get your thoughts on that. But there was also a heated exchange in Chicago, and I want to get your thoughts on that because when I watched it, I was like, this is movie scripting. This is what this is. This is an actual reel that I'm watching. Plus, what on earth is happening in New York? We need to talk about the Liberty. We need to talk about whatever's going on there. It's not looking good for them. They all of a sudden find themselves 5th in the rankings. Plus, a little volleyball hype. The season is officially on, and I've got some players that I cannot wait to introduce to you because I'm so excited about them, and I need you to get just as excited as I am about them.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. You got some tea? You got a funny story?
I got a funny story. Well, I was going to tell you a different story, but right before the show, Sam came and dropped in my lap someone that I'm supposed to introduce to you.
Okay. We had that made?
No. So, please.
I was going to say.
Let's back it up.
She's moving mountains. If we could get, because also really quick, shout out to Sam. Go to our Instagram right now and look at the American Girl doll series that we've created. Well, she's created out of thin air. that
Yeah.
legitimately we had to say in the comments because someone told us to, hey, these aren't real. You can't
are
buy
not real.
these, despite the fact that you probably want to rush to the store and do that right now. If we could have a Labubu and let her shoot Labubu, that's like our color too. That's like a mint green. Where did you guys get that Labubu?
Okay, so this is Dubby. This is Dubby. Dubby is sadly not a Labubu, but we found out
it's a Fabubu.
It's a Lafufu.
A Fububu. A Fabubu.
A Fububu?
Yeah, like
a Lafufu is what they're called. Lafufu.
The Fugazi of the Labubu.
So we still have not figured out, kind of backtracking here, we've yet not figured out how to get like the monthly shipment of Nespresso pods. So every month we have to go to the Nespresso store. And the only place around here that sells Nespresso pods is the mall. And so for most people who have not been into a mall in like a decade, we go in there and every time we walk by the Nespresso, we pass this like, you know, kiosk of Labubus. And every time Sam makes me stop and I never let her get one.
They're real ones?
Okay, so this is the thing. They always have them there, right? Like the kiosk is always fully stocked and there's nobody ever buying from there. And so the other day when we were on our call and we were talking about Trinity Rodman and the Labubu, and Sam was telling us like, oh, how rare they are, right? Like she was telling us that people, it's like Beanie Babies. It's like the Beanie Baby craze. You know, people trade them.
Or Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, right. But those weren't really collectibles. Those were just like a one Elmo doll that everyone had to have. But like these are like everyone wants the different kinds. So when we were on our way to the store, because Sam was like, well, let's go to the mall and get a Labubu. I want you to get a Labubu and take it with you to the US Open. Because, hey, everyone, we're going to the US Open next weekend. So we'll have lots of stories about that. So I'm walking in and I go, wait a second. If these are so rare and hard to find, then how come this kiosk has like 50 of them? That doesn't, is like nobody looking in the mall? Is that not a place people are thinking to look? And as we're buying them, Sam goes, should we be worried that like the boxes are different colors? Like they're all look like they're like tinted weird. And there's like some that are white and some that are like kind of orangey. So we open it up. And immediately Sam goes, oh, it's fake. And I was like, no, maybe it's not. No, it's certainly fake. Like we did the testing. It's everything about it's wrong. The cheeks are yellow, the ears are far apart. But
this is like when this is like when I went to New York and bought. Nope, I'm not going to tell this story. I'm not going to tell this story. I can't tell this story. No, because
you don't want to get busted.
Yeah, I don't want to get busted. But there was something that I bought in New York that I thought was real that was not real. And then from now on, like really to this day, I still have fear that the gift that I gave someone, that they had, that the Fugazi item for their present for their birthday would not be found out. So let's move on before I tell on myself.
Before you get yourself busted. Let's go on to some tea. Maria Sharapova was inducted into the Tennis Hall of...
Ooh, she bad.
Ooh, she bad. I met her once, by the way.
No, really?
I did. Yeah, I did.
What was she like?
Tall.
No, that's not a personality trait.
No, I mean...
What was she like?
Intimidating. I mean, she literally said...
Did she dye her hair? Did she go full Melania? Because I remember...
She did. Okay, right? Because it used to be like more like a blondish. Because I saw her and I went, who's that?
Yes, she went full Melania.
She did. She went... you know what? It's so funny that you say that because when I first saw the picture, I went, why is Serena Williams hugging Melania?
Okay, so you felt the same way.
Yeah, I did. 100% I did. Yeah, I went, what? But anyway, backing it up, so Maria Sharapova was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame and was surprised by Serena Williams to be inducted. And they hugged and everyone was like, wow, this is quite shocking because we thought that this was...
They fucking hated each other.
We didn't think that... And Serena even posted on Instagram, she was like, yeah, I'm surprised too. I'm not.
If you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have never said that this was a possibility. And the thing though, so okay, this is a great moment. It's a great moment. By all accounts, we love to see the GOATs come together in a time of celebration. But we need...
What can unite the country more?
What we need to talk about are the photos.
The photos.
The photos.
The engagement photos.
It was giving... Sharapova and Serena have announced that they are engaged.
It was giving official, like, hardest launch of all launches. Which the funniest part about it was the lighting.
It was the lighting. It was the lenses.
It was the holding of hands.
It was
the staring into each other's eyes.
It was the bokeh, you know?
The bokeh.
Yes, the blurry background of the it was
Never heard it called a bokeh.
Bokeh. What? No bokeh?
Oh. I thought you meant like Boca, like Florida, like an ambiance of
Shut
the
up,
wealthy
bro.
in Florida.
Shut up, bro. So it was giving like that they got the wrong photographer.
Okay.
Right? Like it was, to me, that's just not, you just want stock Getty photographer. You don't need all this dark lighting, moody, like, oh my God, love, romance. Everyone who I talked to said the same thing. Are they engaged?
Are they engaged?
Is Alex Ohanian in a throuple?
You know what? As Serena would say, 5 years ago, you wouldn't expect it, but you never know now.
And they did a How It Started, How It's Going, where it was the phone call for them, like 42 minutes long. Which, by the way,
what was that? I'm
why did
confused
she
about that.
Screenshot that.
Was that? I'm confused. Can we talk about that? What was that phone call?
I think Maria called Serena and said, "Will you introduce me?"
No, because I thought that was a surprise.
No, she said when she asks, I come calling. I don't know.
Oh,
maybe
I didn't put those two together. So I thought it was that she made a surprise appearance.
It was a surprise to all of us.
Okay, it was a surprise to everyone but Maria.
Okay. But Melania
Sharapova. Did she choose her own? Can you do that? Can you choose someone to give you a Hall of Fame induction? I guess you could. I guess if you're in the Hall of Fame, you can do whatever you want.
I guess. I bet they say, like, who do you want?
Man bun, we got to talk about, you sent this to me and you said, we got to start the show with what happened. So we're recording on a Sunday night. Normally we record this on Monday, so
this might have gotten swept under the rug if we recorded on a Monday with all the stuff that could happen tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, there's tons starting. I mean, Phee's playing tonight, but we'll get back to that.
Keep going. I got excited.
Well,
she announced that she was coming back with the Michael Jordan "I'm back" letter.
Oh, I'm back. Yeah, she did the "I'm back." Someone else, though, did that recently, didn't they?
Yes.
Candace Parker?
I don't think it was her. I thought it was a man. Which...
Why would I know that, then?
I don't know exactly. Exactly. That's kind of what the subtext was. Anyway, so Chris Coughlins, a.k.a. the Togetherness Coach, which, by the way, in that clip where he's talking about Paige getting absolutely brutalized, did say we're gonna stay together. So
we're gonna stay.
If you're gonna drink every time he preaches togetherness, you're faded by now. So
like a ding. If we have a little counter, just like a ding.
We do need a dinger for the man bun.
We need a dinger.
And nothing has given Wings fans hope more than him finally saying, "What the fuck?" So anyway, Paige went off for 44 points last week. Mm-hmm. It was the most points for anyone all season, and it's the most for a rookie. And
she's the only one over 40 this season, right?
Yes, she is. And thus the league had said, okay, well, we got to stop this shit, right? So dare I say, Paige finally got what we saw Caitlin Clark get upon. People are going to get mad in the YouTube comments. Stick with me. Okay? Stick with me. We're not Caitlin Clark apologists. You know that, okay? We're calling balls and strikes. What we know is that Paige was not getting face guarded and blitzed upon entering the league because she didn't come in with as much bravado and braggadocious goat energy from her masses, okay? Anyway, so the league said, no, we're not allowing this. And she got double team, triple team, bodied, thrown to the ground. And Chris Cocklane's, do we have the clip? Can we play some of it?
It's physical. The whistle's not going our way. And then I see her just get run over, right? Like, that's an offensive foul. Like, she's boxing out and just getting absolutely run over and thrown to the ground. Like, how many times does she have to be on the ground for us to start protecting her and cleaning up the physicality? So
insert fans coming with their torches. It's a physical league, Chris. It's a physical league. Don't you know the WNBA is the most physical league in all of sports? Women get bodied and manhandled every day. Are you new to the league, Chris? Yes, we know he's new to the league. Okay,
he literally is new to the league, yeah.
But also seeing, it's true, she was getting bodied and all that stuff is valid.
Okay, listen, there were 3 or 4 times that I saw Paige literally crawling across the floor. So, I mean, I think at some point, you gotta call it.
At some point...
Hands and knees. She's on her hands and knees, weaving through other bodies. I mean, come on.
At some point in general, we do need to start protecting our golden geese. Paige is one, Caitlin's another, Asia's another. Superstar whistles are there for a reason, but I do think it's hilarious that after Sophie Cunningham was talking about how Paige gets every fucking whistle, she goes off for 44, and the women around the league were like, it's time to show her what it's like to be Caitlin Clark for a second.
And I know Paige isn't small, but somehow, like, sometimes she just gets, like, enveloped out there, you know, by everyone. Like, it's just all of a sudden you're like, you know, it's like Flubber. Do you remember the movie Flubber? Robin Williams. It was like a 90s movie. It was like the green blob.
Yes,
okay?
a little.
And it would just like everything. That was Paige in that game.
It's like they
into everything.
It's like they create an energy orb around her. Like she just is. She's touched, but she's not like. She's still protected.
Kind of like bounce off of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My theory was, okay, you were starting to say, like, I said I have a theory about this, and you said that he's trying to save his job, which, I mean, that's not really that's not like a conspiracy theory, because, I mean, of course he's trying to save his job. Why wouldn't he try? He knows he's got to do something, and people don't really like him. I'm sure he knows he's being called man bun on the internet, so.
Which is not a derogatory name, really.
No, I mean, by the way, he also, like, gives whiny in that clip too. Like, he just gives, like, complainy man, you know, like, my latte is not hot enough. Like, that's kind of like what he's giving. But I felt like he watched Tyler Marsh yesterday and was like, oh, I need to do something too. Because did you see what happened in the Sky game?
I heard about it, and I kind of, I don't have
you
the full.
See it?
I mean, I saw him sort of lose his shit. Could you play it for me?
Yeah, I can. That you do need to see.
Did she just put her in a fucking chokehold?
Yes.
She put her in a chokehold, and Tyler Marsh looked like he was about to put him in the chokehold. He's literally like, yo, hold me the fuck back. I'm going to show him what a foul looks like.
Yeah. It was a chokehold. She literally got, like, it was like around the neck. Watch this.
Oh my! Over the back too, with the.
That's my girl.
That was the people's. That was the people's elbow.
The people's elbow.
Didn't think I knew about that.
What is going on over in Connecticut? I mean, is that like what? I feel like they're just like throwing hands every single game. But my favorite part of the week, because we kind of skip past the Tyler Marsh of it all, but his reaction, was that not what the energy that you think Man Bun was trying to give in that?
Yeah, but he's like kind of, you know, he's like There's parts of LA that he's giving, and there's like every part of LA is kind of different. And he reminds me of like Echo Park, LA, which is like, it was like this more granola hippie sort of like, I am going to vinyasa my rage. I am going to have the craziest shavasana thinking about what you've done to my player, Paige Bueckers.
It was the East Coast versus West Coast way to handle things.
Totally. Definitely. You've got Chris Cocklanes, who's really just trying his hardest to summation, like some sort of like to conjure rage. And what he has is togetherness. We've got to protect our players. And she is always on the floor. Anyway, Man Bun did endear himself to fans for that. People said, I really don't want him to lose his job. I just want him to lose his job as head coach. Just keep him on the assistant staff.
Okay, but that's still losing his job.
It's losing. No.
The job he's currently doing.
Brad Stevens lost his job as the Boston Celtics head coach, became the GM.
That's a promotion.
Well, it was sort of a demotion in the form of a promotion, and that's maybe what we should give Man Bun.
I don't think anyone wants Man Bun being the GM at Dallas.
Definitely not. Not when Kurt Miller's already there.
You know what he could be? He could be the vibes leader.
Yes, the togetherness coach. Literally, he's scheduling like group dinners. He's scheduling outings on the road. He's scheduling group yoga and like little clay, one of those pottery classes for the team to sort of stay connected.
So as I said, we started recording this as the Lynx game was being played. It's done now. Have you looked at the box score of it yet? If not, can I tell you in person?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Do you want to know?
Yeah, I want to know, what did Phee have?
Phee saw what Asia's been doing, and she said,
Listen.
Phee had 32 points, 9 rebounds.
And Asia would say, that's what I do every night.
But in her first game back, in her first game back,
here's the thing that we need people to understand about Cheryl Reeves.
Okay.
Minutes restrictions, those aren't real. Minutes restrictions in practices as you're trying to get back onto the court, 3-hour practice for you, okay? And I know that for a fact because that's kind of how she treated Angel McCoughtry when she was trying to get back onto the court. Only Angel McCoughtry is not as young or healthy at the time as Phee is. So I'm not surprised about Phee, but I do think that MVP fatigue is a thing. And I do think in any other year, what we've seen from Asia at the same time that Phee has gone down would lead some voters who have recency bias to say, this team is now 2 in the West. 2 overall. There is no East-West. There's 2 overall. When they were 9th or 7th in the standings, ready to fall out of the playoffs, and Asia's just been putting this team on her back, and the Lynx are just so far and wide better than everyone else, top to bottom. They don't really need Phee to win games.
So this is the argument that I have with every sport. MVP, right? What do those 3 letters stand for?
Most valuable player.
Okay. What comes after that? To what? Most valuable player to who?
We don't know. They don't say.
To, right? But
we don't
the assumption, should the assumption not be most valuable player to their team?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, see, I argue that it should.
Well, then the player that was the best on the shittiest team would win it every year.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because in the case of the Aces in Asia, the Aces are on a 10-game win streak. In those 10 games.
Are you trying to get unblocked by Asia?
I'm not the one who got us blocked by Asia.
But is that what you're trying to do?
No.
Are you the QAnon for Asia?
No. So I'm saying that in those 10 games,
yes,
the lowest point average that Asia has had.
Well,
is
not the
14.
lowest point average, just the lowest points that she had.
The lowest point, sorry, that's what I meant to say. The lowest point in any of those 10 games was 14. She's had 5 games over 30 points in that 10-game span, and 8 out of 10 of those games was a double-double. So the Aces would not be on a 10-game win streak if Asia was not doing what Asia needed to do. So is that not... Whereas the Lynx, I wouldn't say have been just fine without Phee, but they've still been winning without Phee. They could still win without Phee. I don't think the Aces could win without Asia.
Well, then maybe we should give a co-award to Breanna Stewart and Jonquel Jones, because clearly the New York Liberty are hot trash vomit. There's a segue for you. Without
was a good one.
One of those players on the court, they fucking stink.
I don't know if you like saw my face do thing. I was going because I was like, where is she going with this? I didn't even realize you were segueing. I'm actually quite proud of that.
You should be impressed.
That was really impressive. I mean, the Liberty their record over the last 6-7 games is not as bad as they've looked over the last 6-7 games, but it seems like they look like they're hurting right now.
Let's get there, because I didn't prepare for this, so don't
I think
mind
they're
me
like
on my
on
phone.
like I think their last 5 is like loss, win, loss.
Sarah, be serious. We're doing a 10 games. 5-5 in their last 10, which is really bad. Like, it's one of the worst in the league. It's like the Wings and the Storm and them. Oh, and the Sky, of course, and the Sun, of course. But I mean, like, in terms of the teams that we care at all about, the Liberty have just been god-awful. And then I want to talk to you about the games that they've lost. Because remember, y'all ain't beat Chicago?
Yeah, that's the one I had that highlighted. The Liberty didn't beat Chicago?
Okay, so I will put some cold water. So they lost by 16 to the Dream. They lost by 6 to the Sky. They had their little revenge win against the Lynx. Lost to the Aces.
Beat the Sparks.
I mean, okay. So they lost to the Sun on August 1st. Yikes. That's a bad one. So you lost to the 2 worst teams in the league. 2 of the worst. Literally the bottom of the basement in your last 10 games. But what I will say is this. Let's put a little cold water on this.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because as long as they're in the playoffs and they're not playing the Lynx in the first round, they are probably still the team that I think, when they're fully healthy, is the second best team in the league.
Yeah, but I think that's the asterisk there. If they're fully healthy.
That's what you have to do.
But I'm saying, like, that is right now, that feels like a big if.
What I will say is that the W, as a side road, because this episode is going to be full of them. What the fuck is the league doing right now with these injuries? We don't know when Fee's coming back. She had multiple games. She was a game time decision. She was a late scratch. She comes back, drops 32, 8, and 4. Okay, so she was obviously very fully healthy. You've got Caitlin, who's now got a bone bruise in her ankle with a setback. Is she coming back? Is she not coming back? What's her timeline looking like? We don't even know. Apparently today we got confirmation that she's back to on-court activities. What does that mean? Who knows? Where is Stewie? What's going on? We don't know. No one tells us. No one gives any updates. I feel that this is the thing that the women's sports as a whole conspiratoriously keeps from us.
Also, I just wanted to add, Sabrina, I just recently also discovered is also out. She was out. She sat the Dream game the other day because she had gotten injured against the Sky, and now she's listed as day-to-day and questionable for like their next run of games. So, I mean, that doesn't look good for them. I don't know.
She's been dealing with like a neck tweak.
It says left. Thing. No, this was left foot.
The Liberty are not a bad team. They're just a very injured team this whole season. They've had terrible luck with injuries. Jonquel was out for a long time and they looked very bad. Then they had some moments where they were all fully healthy again and they were awesome. And then Stewie got hurt again and they fucking suck. And now Sabrina's hurt as well. But when you watch them with everyone playing, they're virtually unbeatable.
I want to go back to your point about not having like there's no way to know what's going on. There's like not like sufficient injury reports with all this, and I can tell you how I know this because I was trying to do some research on doing a video about the ACL injuries and all that, and I was like trying to do my research and find out what how many ACL injuries happened last year versus this year. Well, good luck finding out that information, because unless you go to each team personally and look through all their press releases, like, you can't find anything. And that was when you said that made me realize, like, we need to track this stuff better.
Yeah.
Period. Because you know why? And I'll tell you why. There's no accountability for it when there's no written proof of it. Like, when there's no law, when no one's able to go, that's weird, there's like 8 more ACL tears this year than there were last year. I wonder why that could be. Could it be because of the schedule? Well, now all of a sudden, someone has to be held responsible.
By the way, speaking of the schedule, did you see, can you say that girl's name for me on the Phoenix Mercury?
Sawtooth?
What's her full name? Just give me the full name. I'm refusing to say her name anymore because it doesn't matter how I say it. People are on my head.
Sawtooth Sabally.
Yes, I think that's right.
Sawtooth Sabally.
Anyway, she went on a world-class rant, our girl.
She did.
And said that the league doesn't care about player safety. And then some MNBA players started to get onto their bullshit. And I will say, there is a slight point. You should be, in the sense of back-to-backs are a part of professional sports.
Okay, yes. But my second question to you, and I am asking this like genuinely, and I might prove my own point wrong when I ask you this question. In the MNBA, how many people are on a roster?
15.
Okay. That's my first point. So how many more times do they rotate players into the starting lineup?
Not that much. You don't really get a lot.
They always leave the starters.
The starting lineup is pretty much the same unless there's an injury.
Do you get more players coming off the bench? Or is it
yes,
about the same
but
amount
what
of rotation?
but what you'll get are players still playing heavy minutes because there's more minutes in an NBA game and more games in an NBA season.
There's also, and I'm going to just play argument for argument's sake on all of this with having none of this information in front of me whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, this was not a planned topic at all.
No, but I would also argue that the men's teams have a significant amount of more doctors, trainers, medical staff.
Definitely. But
resources.
So what is
private planes? Private planes.
Well, women are having that now. They have chartered flights.
They have chartered flights. They don't have private planes. It's 2 different things.
Okay. They don't have all of the lap of luxury.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, if LeBron needs to be in, like, ice boots on the way home, he can be, because he's got his legs propped up.
Ice boots.
Whatever you go, compression.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
Things.
The problem is not the schedule. The problem is the resources given to the women. And so that's what we call in Scooby-Doo land a red herring.
There's also...
You don't like that joke?
I mean, no, I didn't really get it, to be honest.
You've never watched Scooby-Doo?
No, I do, but what's the red herring?
The red herring is the schedule is the red herring.
Got it.
And then you pull the paper bag off the schedule, and it's actually the lack of resources for medical staff and flights and playing 5 games in 8 days. And it's not the back-to-backs really or the schedule. It's really everything that supports the schedule and the roster sizes and X, Y, or Z. So it's not really the schedule.
Also, what has to be remembered, which is consistently overlooked, and I want to scream about it into the abyss, the men don't play the off season either. They don't go overseas and play in another league to make up income for the league that's not paying them. You know, LeBron doesn't play between the season. He's just off at his
that
pool,
is
living life. You know,
do that again. What was that? Hey, she's putting you look like those new that group, that Korean group that did the Gap ad right there. Did you not see that? Mm-mm. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
No, I haven't seen that. No, I was doing the LeBron, like, what's that, where he's like...
Hold on. Just for the sake of this, really fast.
I know, okay. You're...
Well, but you're not up to speed, okay?
I don't know that commercial.
It's viral.
Okay.
I sent it to the group.
I have to watch it now?
Yeah, we have to put it on the screen. I want you to see it.
But what does that have to do with what I
did? You did this the same way.
Oh, the way that they did it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it was like literally you look like you were doing the...
Okay. I was doing the whole thing, yeah. Did you have anything else to say about basketball?
I did think that it's, speaking of bad injury updates, when we are getting updates simply because our athletes are going live from their ACL surgery, there is a problem. Okay?
I got a notification on my phone that said Sid Colson is going live. And I went...
From where?
Oh, no.
Doing what?
Doing what? So and it was like 2:00 in the afternoon. So I clicked on it and there was like 35 people in there because she had like just gone live. No, so I log in and the first thing I see was Caitlin Clark. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Oh yeah. And then
no
love
way.
You, Sid. Ain't no way. Love you, Sid. And then she posted it to her story with this like 12th century, like, you know, I don't know
Sid
what
did. Oh
no,
like
Caitlin.
Yeah, I saw that with the painting. That
yeah,
was like
with the
a woman
painting.
takes to a bed or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was like this right here. And then Sid Colson responds, "Damn right." Retirement should not be overcomplicated. You should feel like the advice that you're getting fits your life, not someone else's agenda. That is straight talk and a solid strategy, and that's what you get from Fuchs Financial, our guy. Watch Ben's show, How to Retire, on his YouTube page, which we link in the show notes. Thank you to Ben. Seriously, thank you to Ben for believing in what we're doing over here. Our first sponsor, our most important sponsor to date, and we're always going to keep it solid. So go over there and check Ben out.
Let's talk some soccer. I want to hear all about it. How was your first ever NWSL experience?
Electric. My friend was invited to this Johns Hopkins alumni event, which, by the way, Johns Hopkins is in Baltimore, and this event was in Portland. Somehow there were 35 people that went in this beautiful block of awesome section, free food, free candy, free drinks, everything just really nice. And the seat was great. It was air conditioned, so I got out of the heat. So that part, the vibe was good. It's my first time being at an NWSL game live. But fun fact, the place that the Portland Thorns play is where I had my first job in media when I covered the Portland State Vikings as a sideline reporter.
Really?
That's where they played.
At oh my God, what's it
Providence
called?
Park.
Providence Park?
Yes.
Yeah,
used to be called PGE Park, and that was where it all began for me. So it was very nostalgic, super fun. Somebody that I studied abroad in Greece with was at this alumni event as well. So I was like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Hey. So that was like really weird and random. And nobody knew anything about soccer. No one.
Oh, wow.
Except for me, baby. I was like, I got to be the czar. I'm the captain now. So
is that why you kept texting me? Can you explain what just happened?
No, because you couldn't tell the reason for the red card. So I said, yo, keep an eye on the girl with the blue hair. She's the one. You'll know pretty fast she's the one.
Yeah.
Then, like, these fucking bitches came in and were standing up right in front of me, getting settled. The game has begun. Header. Casey Current header right in front of us that I just missed.
It's like 52 seconds.
And I was
into
like,
the game.
are you fucking kidding me? I have to watch this on the TV. I was 500 feet away. Bitches, keep your asses down, okay?
Was it the goal in front of you? Because you were kind of
Yes.
in the corner. Yeah.
I was right there. So I was pretty pissed about that. But then Shawinga, because the first half, the Kansas City Current was on our side. Mm-hmm. There were 2 wide open moments for Shawinga.
She could have had 3 goals in that
She
game.
could have easily had 3 goals. And then people are locked in. They're like, yeah, you're right. The girl with the bluish hair, she's fucking insane. So that was really fun. The nutmeg in the second half, the Shawinga nutmeg on the keeper, 1v1. I mean, she just gets out into open space and is 1v1 all the time. It's like you can't really. She's in the breakaway. I thought it's very clear that the Kansas City Current are better than pretty much anyone. I didn't feel bad. It felt like Portland had a ton of chances. There was a couple of times where they had their opportunity. I want to say Portland had 16 shots on goal.
They had an excessive amount.
And
of
they
shots on
were
goal.
real opportunities. And then like Kansas City had 20 plus shots on goal. So it was, we were in the vibes, people. And man, it just felt like Portland doesn't have nearly enough.
The problem with Portland is they have no goal scorers right now. Sam Coffey is on an island, and she's a midfielder. She's trying to direct traffic all over the field. I mean, and I give Sam Coffey a lot of credit because Reina Reyes, who is okay. So this is actually funny, but we were watching the game last night, and I turned to Sam and I said, "When did Reina Reyes become a forward?" And she said, "She's not. She's a defender." And I said, "Oh, why is she taking so many shots on goal then?" And she goes, "Because that's how far up they have to play because of Kansas City." And Alabama girl, Reina Reyes. But yeah, they just don't. Sam Coffey needs some help finishing because there were so many like passes into the box that just
died.
Where's that going? I don't. And there were times that I was like, oh, Sophia Smith would have had a beautiful goal right there. You know, that you just watched and you were like, that would have been perfect.
For her.
She would have been right there. What? For her?
For her. It would have been perfect. For her.
Oh, yeah,
only.
like for her.
For her, yeah.
Like that would have been. So, but, you know, it's hard to beat Kansas City. They're just.
I will say I was surprised about. First and foremost, the hilarious thing was any time, swear to God, hand to God, or to Mother Nature, or whoever, every time Portland gained possession, that's how hard it was to gain possession. The whole stadium erupted just to get possession, bro.
Yeah, I'm really bummed that you went to a game because the first thing I thought when they scored in the first minute of the game was how much of a bummer that was, because the thing about Providence Park that is so cool is how loud and the energy, and it just sort of like immediately deflated the crowd, and they just sort of like were like, oh. And so then you're playing the whole game behind, and it's not.
And
like
they were parking the bus.
Energy.
Yeah, they were parking the bus. It wasn't. And then number 2, and maybe you can explain this to me.
Okay.
Is there like some sort of reason that they hate each other? Besides, like, I don't get it.
Portland and Kansas City.
So we had a red card. We had multiple yellow cards, but we also had the fans like hissing and seething and it was the vitriol. I was kind of like, wow, this is really chippy.
Okay, so I'll put it this way. So I'm going to give it to you in football terms, right? So Portland is Georgia football. Okay. Right? Like they are the legacy program. They've won so many years. Not even. They're like Notre Dame. Okay. They're like the legacy. Everyone wants to have their, traditions, and they're this and they're that and they're whatever. And then Kansas City is like Oregon. They're like the new kid on the block, right? That's like thirsty for their first title. And they've always, I think that there's like a little bit of like the new dynasty versus the old dynasty, like jealousy type ordeal. When I did my that doc on the Portland Thorns, and they were playing Kansas City in the finals at that game, so I remember watching like, and I want to say that was the first finals they played each other in, and Portland won. But I think that since then, Kansas City has had a little bit of like, just like a little bit of like bitterness,
like
extra,
extra shit towards Portland.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like the NWSL is only 13 years old, right? So like it hasn't been old enough to have these like really storied rivalries. But I think those two programs are ones that will potentially build to a rivalry as long as they stay kind of.
It felt like a rivalry in the building, and we were getting our asses beat. If we were actually competing, it could have been just chaos.
I also think it's one of those like everyone wants to take down the top dog, you know? But the Current are good. I will say, watching that Current game, I really truly believe that we need a global Champions League of sorts.
I do too.
Soccer.
I do too.
I need to see Kansas City play Arsenal.
Yes.
Or play Barcelona. Or play the Tigres. Like I need to see that happen.
I thought
need
it
to
was
see those matchups.
I thought it was just me who had that thought, and I was like, am I being stupid? And then somebody was like, well, they kind of already have something kind of like that. And I'm like, not really.
They have the Champions League like in the UK, right? Like they do, which is great. But the NWSL is like so secluded from that I think that's why. Because my hot take, and I texted you yesterday when you were at the game. I said, I have a hot take. I think that if Shawinga played for Arsenal or if Shawinga played for Barcelona, I think that she would be considered the best player in the world.
I 100% agree. When you watch her,
I mean, she reminds me of like a Sam Kerr kind of playing style. Like she's just so creative on the ball, but she plays defense too. And I think that that's what's overlooked. There are so many offensive players that are forwards or strikers, and when the ball is not in their possession, they kind of stay back and they kind of wait for it to get set up for them. Alex Morgan was notorious for playing with that style.
Which is why I couldn't stand her.
And there is a place for that style, of course. But, I mean, the fact that Barbara Banda is out for the season on a challenge from Shawinga. Like, Shawinga is that much of a defensive player that you don't expect her to be. And she's going, like, she's sliding, she's making tackle. She's so fast that it's mind-boggling to see how quickly she will get back to the ball if it changes sides.
She's like 1.5 times faster than anyone on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because they're going full speed, and then she's just increasing the gap between them. It's pretty insane. So I agree with that.
And you look down and she's nutmegging someone and cutting and I mean, she's incredible to watch. That's my hot take, is that I think if she were worldwide, I think she'd be the.
You know what's crazy is it felt like I didn't even outside the first moment that I got there, I didn't even think about Debinho once. Not one time.
Well, she wasn't in the game until
but I mean, like, I never thought, like, where is she?
Oh, no. But that's the thing about this Kansas City team, is they are so they are such a well-developed team. And not only that, but the whole team plays defense. They all play offense and they all play defense, which is actually what makes them so good on any place of the field.
My question for you is if you were to put Kansas City in a Champions League with the best European teams, where do the current stack up?
I mean, here's the thing. There is a reason at the end of the day that Arsenal and Barcelona make up for more than half of the Ballon d'Or nominees, right? Like, you can't, until proven otherwise, you cannot say, but would I rank them third? Yes. I'd rank them, I'd go Arsenal, Barcelona, Kansas City. Why not?
I'd love to see it. You mentioned Barbara Banda going down. Season-ending injury for her. Orlando Pride. What a massive blow to them. And a really gruesome injury too.
Yeah, a full muscle avulsion, they call it, which
to the adductor?
By the way, don't Google that. Yeah, don't Google that. Because I did. I made the mistake of Googling that, and it's just essentially her groin ripped off the bone.
Oh,
yeah. So she's out for the foreseeable future. I mean, they said out for the season. Hopefully, she's back by next season. We'll see. But they happened to luck into, well, not luck into, but so they signed Lisbeth Ovalle, who is a Mexican forward from the Tigres, and she had a 1.5, broke all the records, $1.5 million transfer fee. They happened to sign her days before Barbara Banda went down with this injury. So that was about as lucky of timing as they could possibly get.
Yeah, that is, I wonder what the transfer fee would have been after the Barbara Banda injury.
Well,
and whether she would have even signed.
Well, I think she would have, to be honest. So she had, I guess I was reading the story that the LA Times did on her, and she had started at the Tigres in Mexico, and she had told them last year that she wants to go to the NWSL. That was her goal. They helped facilitate the trade, but they also knew her worth. Last year, Angel City offered $750,000 for her that they turned down. That would have been the record set at the time. That was before Naomi Girma's $1 million transfer.
Wow.
So they turned it down at the time. They must have seen Naomi and then Olivia Smith. So before Olivia Smith from Canada, Liverpool to Arsenal trade also was $1.35 million, somewhere in that ballpark when it got moved over from pounds to dollars. So that became the highest. And then now this one is $1.5 million to make her the highest transfer fee. And Orlando has said, no, we're committed to winning a championship this year.
I can't wait to see how this whole thing goes down, because you've got the Spirit, you've got the Current, and you've got the Pride. And I think, don't sleep on the Spirit, who, by the way, had a huge game the other day against Bay City.
Yeah, and they went out, and don't sleep on the Spirit. They went out and got their own Ovalle. They went out and got Sophia Cantori, who had her second goal in her second game already this week in front of a record 40,000, a record for all women's sports in the United States, by the way, not just soccer, all women's sports in the United States, 40,091 fans.
That's so many people.
They sold out the San Francisco Giants Stadium.
I would never have imagined. As much as I love women's sports, to see that and then to juxtapose it with, I think, a better game, which was Kansas City Current versus, despite the 3-2 score, I think you've got
it was a fantastic game.
Yes. But I think there were 9,000 people in the stands for the Portland Thorns and the Spirit. And the Current. It was I was shocked at how sort of dead it was. And maybe it was because it was a super hot day and they knew they weren't going to win.
Probably.
But 40,000 people is more
40,000.
than I think Providence Park can even fit.
Speaking of MLB, and because I need to tell you this stat that I learned today, and it was mind-blowing to me. But the NWSL has reached $75 million in sponsorship revenue for the league, which in comparison, they've done that over 13 years. The WNBA took 27 years to get to 75 million in sponsorship revenue. And
Soccer fans.
There are 3 teams. See, there's the face again. That's the sarcastic one, the one you just did. So there are 3 teams that bring in that revenue: Angel City, the San Diego Wave, and the Kansas City Current. And this is the stat though that like blew my mind. Angel City makes more dollar to the follower, like per followers that they have on social media, right? Per dollar to fan
ratio. The dollar to fan ratio
is higher than the New York Yankees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Isn't that insane?
Angel City makes that much for their followers? Huh. Here's a stat. Here's a stat that'll blow your mind. And we have a small sample size. Speaking of don't speak on the Spirit. Or just don't sleep on the Spirit. The Spirit are winning 75% of their games when Trinity and Croy Bethune start. Watch out, motherfuckers. They're coming.
And they're good. They're healthy right now. I'm telling you, Spirit's on the way up. Kansas City's on the way up.
Orlando on the way down?
Orlando, I got to see what happens.
We're not sure.
We're not sure.
Portland, tail between their
down.
legs. Portland on their way down.
The Wave, I'm also unsure where we're going.
That's what a wave does.
I'm seeing
you never know what waves. You never know what wave. You never know which way a wave's gonna go. It goes up and it goes. Let's get up out of here. What a great show.
Let's get up out of here. Oh, real quick before we go, I just got to tell you. So, and this won't be much of a discussion because I know I haven't gotten you on the volleyball.
I'm not in yet. There's a lot going on. Rugby's happening.
But you remember how I got you into softball?
Wait. That's what you're going with? You got me into softball?
Can you just go with this?
Fine.
How did I get you into softball this year?
I would say you didn't.
No, I did. When I brought up the $1 million arm, Nyjah Kennedy, on this podcast, and you had to go and look her up, and then you watched a game, and then you were like, holy shit, have you seen Nyjah Kennedy? And I was like, I literally talked about her last week on the podcast.
Bro. Okay. Go ahead.
Did that or did that not happen?
I'm gonna need some proof that that's how it went down. I remember us talking about Michaela Edenfield, who, by the way, just watched my gym story, which awesome, like a low key flex. Won't respond back to my.
Can you
DMs.
Can you focus?
That's how we started talking about softball, and of course, the $1 million arm was discussed.
About Nyjah.
But you did not give me any details on you watching her at all.
That is a lie, and I'll tell you how I know that's a lie.
Do you have it in your rundown?
Yes, I do have it in my rundown. But no, that was not what I was going to say. My proof is that before that postseason in softball started, Sam and I created a 10 players to watch, in which I did not discover Nyjah because she was already worth $1 million at that point. But
I mean, this is going downhill fast.
Conversation. Yeah, it did. Anyway, I found Nyjah and I brought her to you and I said, wow, there's this girl at Texas Tech that is getting paid $1 million to pitch for Texas Tech. Anyway, all right, I'm going to give you that player for me this year.
Okay, give it to me.
Volleyball. Okay.
Pause.
Jayla Auguste from the University of Florida.
Auguste.
No, it's Auguste. It's like Augusta without the
Okay, but I like the Auguste.
Auguste?
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced. I mean, that's how it's spelled.
She is... She has so much swag. She has so much, like, energy. She was SEC Freshman of the Year last year. And they lost their first game against Stanford, but they beat, I think, number 3, Pitt today, which... no one was expecting them to win that game. So I'm just going to tell you, if they're going to be good this year, if the University of Florida is going to be good this year, it's going to be because of Jordan Bird and Jayla Auguste.
Jayla, you see, Jayla Goose sounds
Now
better.
you got it
though,
in my
doesn't it?
head. Now you got the wrong August. You got the wrong one in my head. And I need you to go look up her highlights.
I'm looking it up right now. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's...
Oh, she's got hops. Okay. Goldie, we're going to drop the link in the comments. Jayla, August of the Wind, comes down. She could dunk. She could windmill if she wanted to. She is
that was nasty.
Ugh, she got up so high. She's got a lot of power. She's got a lot of putting a little cheese on that salami.
Yeah. I think I read on one of their stats. Hold on, let me look it up because I want to make sure I get this. Jordan Bird has a 9.5 foot spike height.
That's
and
insane.
Spikes it at 52 miles an hour.
Could you imagine getting hit in the face with one of those balls? You're dead.
Oh, well.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Pause,
Well,
Pause.
Did you see the girl? Harper Murray hit a girl in the face. She spiked a ball directly into a girl's face.
That would hurt so bad.
Yeah, it would.
Speaking of hurting badly, and I will watch volleyball, but I'm locked in on rugby. What hurts so bad is probably everything about playing rugby and even watching rugby when you're watching our team, Team USA. We are going to become the biggest women's rugby fans on planet Earth. Well, as much as we can be. We know nothing. So we're locked in on that.
Less than nothing.
We really are starting from it can only go up from here. If you watched our recap, I don't know that you learned anything. So we're going to get better, though. And the podcast is continuing to add sports that we talk about, which is huge. We are no experts. We are just excited about growing the game, all the games. So thank you for listening. Great show, Sarah, except for all the lies about Nyjah Kennedy. Those were just blatant,
None
crazy,
of them were lies. Not a single lie.
lies.
I dare you to prove me wrong.
I'm going to have to
you.
go through our group text. Anyway, thank you guys
just go to our show. Go watch the show. I said it, well, not live, but...
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Thank you for listening. Drop us a comment. Give us your takes. I think this is one of our best shows. We did it on a Sunday night. Tell us what you agree with. No Caitlin Clark haters accusing us of standing for her. I know you know who I'm talking about. There's one commenter who's always saying he's going to leave us, but he's sticking with us for one more episode. So I love you. We want this community to be engaged. We want us to be constantly in conversation. I know I personally get in the comments and I watch them, I read them, I respond to them. Send us an email, hello@dailywsports.com. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Daily W Sports. As always, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's up. And 1, 2, 3, ready, Sarah? Let her shoot. Responsibly by Remington.